Checkpoints is presented by pharmaceutical company GM Pharma. Although tourism statistics in Georgia are difficult and contradictory to track, government data still remains the only source where all possible information about tourist visits is collected. There can be much discussion about the criteria for counting and recording tourists, but what's certain is that the number of tourists has been growing year after year in Georgia, confirmed by both direct and external factors. There is notable interest from both local and international investors in the development of prominent hotel complexes. But before we get into that, let's take a look at the current tourism statistics, which will reflect this investor activity. So, in 2024, Georgia received 6.5 million visitors, which includes both tourists and same-day visitors. Out of these, 5.1 million were tourists, a figure that for the first time matched pre-pandemic levels from 2019. As for income from tourism, in 2024, Georgia earned $4.4 billion from the sector, marking a 7.3% annual growth. The main contributors to this growth were countries from the Middle East. Tourism revenues significantly increased from Israel, Iran, and Saudi Arabia by 41.6%, 17.9%, and 21.2% respectively. Asian markets, especially China and India, also played a major role in revenue growth, while income from almost all traditional markets declined. Historically, the largest source of tourism revenue has been Russia. However, in 2024, revenue from Russian visitors declined by 2% year-on-year, amounting $850 million. Amid growing visits and revenues from tourists, interest in investing in the hotel business in Georgia has been steadily increasing among both local and international investors. But building a hotel complex is one thing, managing it well is another one, and among the most critical challenges. This requires knowledge, skills, experience, and professional managers. That's why investors have begun establishing active partnerships with international networks, hotel brands, and industry operators. That's exactly the purpose for which the international company Aimbridge Hospitality entered the Georgian market in 2023. We attended a meeting where one of the largest development companies in Georgia and the region, Allianz Group, signed a management contract with Aimbridge Hospitality EMEA to operate its Allianz Palace apart hotel. But Aimbridge's story goes much farther back. I reached out to Armin Eberhard, Vice President of Operation for Eastern Europe at Aimbridge Hospitality, whom I have known for 2 years since we met at the 2023 contract signing ceremony with Allianz Group.
You're right. I believe that's an interesting story. Aimbridge Hospitality's journey began more than 60 years ago by founding the company called Interstate Hotels Resorts in the United States in the 1960s, with only one motel in Pennsylvania under operation.
Just one motel?
One motel. The company then expanded to run Howard Johnson hotels in the United States and formed a long-term partnership with Marriott in the 1970s. And at the end of that decade, the company was operating about 25 hotels in the United States and started also diversifying into project management and design services. It started much later on. We added, expanded into Europe, adding hotels and countries to it, like Ireland, Belgium, the Netherlands. And we also then expanded into cities like London and Moscow. And this is when the Eastern European expansion really started. That's right. So we reached out to the subcontinent as well as Central America with Mexico, and at the same time increased significantly our presence in the United Kingdom as well. And we added the portfolio in Eastern Europe through Russia. Later on expanding into CIS and Caucasus regions in the years between 2011 and 2018 by opening properties for owners in Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, Belarus, and also in Yerevan, Armenia.
From Aimbridge history, I must highlight that by the 1990s, the company was already managing around 230 hotels across the United States, including the legendary Roosevelt Hotel in New York. After transitioning from a public to a private management model, Aimbridge Hospitality began expanding internationally in London, India, Mexico City, Moscow, Ireland, and Belgium, starting in 2011. The company then significantly expanded into the markets like China and the Netherlands and increased its portfolio and presence in the UK. Around this time, Aimbridge also started entering Belarus, Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, and Armenia. This is when interest in the Caucasus region and Georgia began as well.
Aimbridge EMEA entered the Georgian market by signing the first hotel management agreement, the transition for the Allianz Palace apart hotel in Batumi, owned by Allianz Group, one of, as you know, largest developers in the country here. And the combined strength of Allianz Group and our operational expertise from Aimbridge EMEA then allowed us to kind of revolutionize that sector of hospitality in Georgia, and by now we have a proven track record for bringing improved guest quality services to the property, as well as enhanced values for the developer and the investors of the project. We are also named operator for the Wyndham Grand Residences project in Batumi Gonio. With signing the agreement, we are standing to operate the various complexes, large facilities in this all-inclusive project, which is enhancing our presence. For future operational opportunities, we offer our developers and partners like Allianz also technical service advisory during the construction period. And that includes our expert revision of design engineering reviews and working very closely and coordinate with the developers, project team, contractor, architects, and the MEP experts.
It's also worth noting that Aimbridge's involvement in Georgian project does not stop at providing just technical support for developers. Their collaboration with Georgian partners includes involving Aimbridge experts and team with developers, contractors, architects, designers, engineers, and construction crews, making the entire process more efficient.
When Aimbridge EMEA joins a new market, it seeks to open immediately a local presence in the market, assembling expertise in the key areas for hotel operations. That's hotel operations itself, finance, commerce and revenue strategy and management, as well as IT solutions. And that gives our owners and partners in the market imminent, direct and immediate access to our expertise. We are, so to speak, hands-on for the construction project, and we also support our running operations and hotel teams directly on site. Sure, Aimbridge Hospitality has a proven strong track record of transitioning and open properties and our standards and into brands. We open an average 10 properties a year in our division. Our technical knowledge and our operational expertise ensures that our partners and developers receive and open their projects timely, and also make sure that it is brand compliant if there is a franchise included. Our recent openings in our division in Europe, Middle East, Africa include, of course, the Allianz Palace Apart Hotel as a transition of the existing business under our management. Also includes a large upscale resort on the Mediterranean coast in Spain. For example, a hotel in the Netherlands under an IHG franchise brand, but also serviced apartments under an Accor brand in Belgium. We are unique because of our scale of operations. We have a global reach that's unrivaled, and at the same time we're creating local leadership and local regional teams to support our owners, give them direct access to our expertise in the market, and that's led by expert teams with operational leads, and for Eastern Europe, for example, that is me here. At the same time, our scale allows us to develop tools for the industry specific to the needs of the industry. I can see as an example our reporting tool for financial results. That is a proprietary tool that we developed in-house in Aimbridge. And on the property level, we use this to sensitize and skill up our hotel teams in financial, accounting, and commercial efforts. We use it on the regional level to evaluate and analyze the performance of our properties. And we also use it to report to our owners in great detail to create maximum transparency. We're participating in various locations in Georgia, not only the two big destinations, Tbilisi and Batumi, but also in the regions. And that is really showing is evidence of the growing portfolio in Georgia and the activities here by the developers. You have a strong group of development entrepreneurs here that really are pushing the hospitality level to new heights in Georgia, and that creates an environment that we seek to establish a very strong presence for ourselves here, because we see a lot of untapped potential for us to take over and to manage.
While preparing for the interview, I also looked into Aimbridge Hospitality EMEA's results for the year. As of the beginning of 2025, the company has signed an additional 9 management contracts, including 6 hotels owned by Danish ProArc Group. Among them are Hilton Garden in Birmingham Airport, Hyatt Place and Hyatt House Leeds. This adds a total 1,348 rooms to the portfolio just in the early months of this year. Still, the question remains, why Georgia? What motivates Aimbridge Hospitality to grow its presence in the region and specifically in Georgia? That's probably the question interested in when wrapping up the interview.
Very much so, Giorgi, absolutely, very much so. We see this as untapped potential, and we see tremendous growth. The energy that the developers bring into this market, pushing the government, pushing the regions into new heights of hospitality in size, in facilities and infrastructure as well, is very interesting for us to be part of that journey. And that's why we're seeking to establish a strong presence here. Georgia has adopted a European style of business. It is very much open to the fact that tourism is an important factor of the growth for the country, therefore reducing entry requirements for the international travelers from many countries. We see the demand growing. Georgia, in its efforts to grow in this particular sphere, has created more and more international interest for this destination, and it needs international expertise like ours to match the supply that's being built here with international demand to bring into the country. At the same time, we see very much that there is a hand-in-hand between the government's efforts and the individual entrepreneurs, as well as the financial institutions, to drive development in the country, in the various regions. This brings job opportunities, not only in the big cities, but also in the countryside, and that brings wealth.
The interview with Aimbridge Hospitality EMEA's Vice President of Operations for Eastern Europe concludes here. However, the company's story continues, and right after this conversation, another chapter unfolded, reported by the Georgian government. $60 million investment will bring a 5-star Windham Grand multifunctional balneological complex to Borjomi, Georgia. A symbolic capsule was also placed at the foundation. According to the Ministry of Economy of Georgia, the Windham Grand Borjomi project is being carried out by New City Development and APCO companies in cooperation with Windham Hotels Resorts and global hotel management leader Aimbridge Hospitality. Look forward to telling you more stories like these about exciting collaborations and projects in Georgia. Success stories should be shared. The Checkpoints is presented by pharmaceutical company GM Pharma.